Many people say presidential elections are important because they decide who will run the country. But do politicians run America? Thankfully, no.
Reporters and politicians keep talking about it.
We have a country to run.
Do you believe that either of these two men have the leadership qualities necessary to run this country?
Those around him helping to run this country.
Come on, guys, let's wrap this up. We have a country to run.
Hello? The president runs the country? The politicians are so important that if they're not in power, America stops? I don't think so.
Fortunately for us, America's really run by millions.
When that meltdown comes, do you think there's any hope that we could see the federal government melt away like the Soviet Union did?
Well, given the potential devastation of a real meltdown, I think it's very hard to predict what would happen, and it's hard in advance to exclude possibilities. I think there would be options on the table we wouldn't even think of right now. And you know, whereas today everyone thinks that this massive, gigantic, parasitic structure is indispensable. Whatever would we do without Barney Frank to watch over us and so on? I mean, the very fact that we can't even conceive of a different way of living, that there might be a more humane way of arranging society than to have one gigantic coercive organization to rule over 300 million disparate individuals, shows the utter bankruptcy of our mainstream thinking, that we're caught in a box that's this big of the options we're allowed to entertain. So that's one thing that bankruptcy on a large scale brings in, is that it makes it possible to think in different ways, in healthy ways, in humane ways.
All right, that's the most.
One of the premises for us doing this was to control costs. And in Massachusetts, we have not been able to. They are out of control. They are rising faster than any other state in the nation. So if we're going to do this in Washington, what we're going to end up doing is bankrupting the country. And that's bad for everybody, not just us.
Yeah, I mean, my feeling on that is I want to keep the government, at least the federal government, out of our lives as much as possible, in all aspects of our lives, whether it's our financial lives or, you know, our social lives. There's nothing in the Constitution that authorizes the federal government to have an opinion on marriage, to define marriage, to, you know, regulate on, you know, what restrictions may or may not be on abortions. These are all issues that our founding fathers left to the states. You know, we have state governments, right? This is a federalist system. It's not that the government is dictating for all 50 states. So, as a senator, I would vote against any intrusion on states' rights.